kill in your name. These attributes were supported to varying degrees by the early... These attributes were supported to varying degrees by early Jewish Christians and Muslims. Now what's funny is that Jewish Christians and Muslims are the three sectors of human degenerates that enslaved the melanated men and women of this planet. I just thought I'd throw that in there. It says it was varying degrees by the early Jewish Christians and Muslim theologians. They left the word racist out. See, they should have put that in there. Racist theologians, or money hungry, immoral, gangster god puppets. Because their God is a gangster. Now listen. Theologian philosophers. Many notable medieval philosophers and modern philosophers has developed arguments for and against the existence of God. Well, it doesn't matter, because the word medieval and modern philosopher, see, that lets you know we're talking about Europeans. And as long as they have a God, it didn't matter, because they did ungodly things. So the reason they don't want to have a God is because even with a God, they can't live up to what you need to live up to when you have a God. So it don't matter one way or another to them anyway. So quite naturally, they would try to eradicate a God that they never paid attention to any damn way, until he, which he most of the time anyway, told them to kill every fucking body. Now, I'm not being evil. I just want to point things out to you guys, so maybe you start to think. Maybe you could change the condition of the world just by thinking. Because thinking is how everything got, the bad thoughts is how everything got messed up. You can even see God himself is pissed off. He's saying they putting me in all that. I ain't got nothing to do with all that. I don't even exist. And they sitting here getting me in all this stuff. Wars and everything, talking about I'm responsible for. I'd be pissed too if I was him. It's a shame that y'all do that to this guy. Have him responsible for all the moron actions that you guys have done. That's all it is. That's all it goes back to. Hypocritical, hypocrisy. My man coming around the truck look like somebody hung his horse. Look like he thinking they hung my fucking horse. I'm in Portland. I'm on the way to Metro Metals. See you in a minute. Peace. Okay, this is the load right here. It took me 2 days. One day actually to pick this up. One good day. About 10 hours, and I got more in the yard. I'm at the yard now. I'm gonna throw this off. Okay, peace and blessings. Okay, so I'm at Portland, Oregon. I'm at a filling station getting gasoline, you know, and everything is everything, I guess. I don't have no complaints, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have showed that. I think this is really one of the problems with the world. Maybe the universe wanted you guys to see that. If I would have known my camera was going to point at that and advertise it, I would have turned it the other way. But since it's there, let me tell you what that is. That is nothing but slavery. That is chemical slavery. You're not going to drink this stuff and put it in your body without killing yourself, without it taking all your money, without it doing all kind of negative shit that when you look at everything it does, it should ask yourself, why the hell would I drink that? And not only, it is not just Bush, it's any beer. Bush just happened to be the one that's there. But any alcohol beverage that anyone consumes is leading to societal decadence, in my opinion. Thank you. It works better when I take the lens off. Alright, so what is going on is I got this off the truck. I picked this up yesterday, those 2 air conditioners. They off the truck now because I done emptied. You know. But I'm getting ready to go back down there to that yard. I'm going to set this up real quick, you know what I'm saying? These pieces of iron right here. It's a better grade, it's a better quality. So I'm taking that in by itself. I started to mix it all together, but I didn't want to do all the extra work. I got all this from that guy over at JP Tires. I paid him $45 to flip $13. That means he took the tires off. I told you before, he kept the tires and gave the rims to me prepared like that so I could go sell them. So I'm going right back to Metro Metals, believe it or not. I took this stove back off the truck because I only used it to help me block that tin that was in the front so it wouldn't move. The way I came across it, I was in a position to either have it where I move it twice or utilize the stove and block it in with the stove. The stove had to come back off. You see this piece of wire right here? That's all copper. That's not going to get thrown off in steel because it's worth like about $3 a pound when you clean it. So I'm going to take all that right there. You're looking at that little black part right there. That whole piece got to be stripped off because I'm trying to find out what type of metals is up inside of that house. When you see these stoves like this, and they're old school, I know it's got some good stuff in it. So I was not about to throw that stove off because I'm going to get about $4 worth of copper out of that stove when I strip it and clean it. Okay? Alright, gotta go. Peace.
I wouldn't even waste my time. If it's that bad, then the destruction that I thought I was praying for the white man for what he did, man, let God come and destroy these niggas.
Look, Sunchop, let me break. Don't you understand the dynamics between the black and the white? The white man is a melanin recessive black man. Okay, so that means that.
Ain't racist when it comes to doomsday. That's all I'm saying.
But my point is this: you can't really. You can't really address a complexion of whiteness without being hypocritical. That does not exist. You could, to be honest, you're gonna have to call it melanin recessive blackness, or you just gonna have to call it. You can't call it white. The only way you can call it white is that you can really constitute an existence of white, and since whiteness cannot reflect, since whiteness cannot absorb any light at all, it can't.
Yeah, all that is a word that backs the supremacy part of it.
That's absolutely right. Nothing can exist if it cannot retain light. Whiteness.
The only thing, black is powerful, and we represent that because niggas in Africa are black.
Right.
You know, they got some niggas in Africa so black, the white man goes, damn. So watch this.
I go that. I be saying, damn, myself. Shit.
There's no white people because they're all pink and faded. But check it out. When they use that word, it's like the opposite of black, so it's like a way to counteract the power.
That's where the whole dichotomization came from, by creating white. That's what I tell everybody. The only way they could dichotomize the human family is that they had to create a way to dichotomize it, because otherwise people knew they were the same thing.
Damn, and then they even say that it's supreme to the black. It's supremacy, white supremacy. Like, when there's nothing but black supremacy, you already proved that the only supremacy there is black supremacy.
And that's not even supremacy, because in order to be black supremacy, you have to find something to be supreme over. Blackness has no reason to try to be supreme over anything, because it knows that it is an abiding principle and is already not even supreme. It's an abiding principle. It means that it is God. That means that you don't want to be supreme when you're already God. You have no reason to lower yourself to being supreme. You're already God.
Oh, I see. So black is omnipotent.
Well, put it this way. When God created man on earth, she knew what was the best material to make it out of, and so they did. Now, man came along later in his infinite wisdom, but not infinite enough to see what he was really doing. And that's the whole reason why we were given the wisdom, so we could make mistakes. And now once the mistakes like this were being made, with us having to deal with the outcome of creating this guy, you know what I'm saying? Now the wisdom that's going to come from the experiences that you had to go through after the creation, and then the experience you will achieve when you find the solution to the creation, all this stuff will just make you a wiser person. And you know better not to do certain things again. Sometimes you only do something one time, and you learn from that one time, well, I probably shouldn't do that shit again.
Right. Yeah.
But see, that's what it boils down to, man. It's all about experiences. I created love us so much that ain't nothing gonna come at you that you can't find the solution to it. Like I say, all problems ride with the solution in the same vehicle with them, because the problem came with something you invited, or it wouldn't be your problem. I done found that out. I done found it out in all my years on this earth.
We're people that have been confused by ourselves and we don't even realize.
That's absolutely right. You better believe it. Every time you go.
We've been confused by ourselves, and there are really a lot of black people out here that are trying to keep us confused.
Well, look, let me explain to you why. Because they're confused. They believe that their quest for extravagance and opulence and power, wealth, materialism is something that should be put above their fellow man. You know, it's like this, real simple. You sitting up, let's take the average woman with a crack habit. Now, she know last month her children starved to death because when she got the check, she went and brought all that food. She's sitting up planning 5 days in advance when she see her children is still hungry from her mistake she made at the beginning of this month. Here come 5 days to food stamps and check day again. She's sitting here right now anticipating spending that money on crack again when she know the damage she's causing to her children. See, that's what I'm talking about. Now, this is something that is a disease. It's a sickness amongst us because we have been thrown into a circumstance where we have been oppressed by a person that has been studying books of philosophy to become a genuine oppressor. And the persons that he oppresses the most is our children. Start them from small kids to be rebellious. Look what this motherfucker giving them signals. Don't get along with your father, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous how many families are destroyed because these fucking dumbass little kids can't understand how important it is to listen to guidance from your parents. Know every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And then the first thing that, whenever it's time to have unity with your family, you know every damn thing, but you don't know how to have no unity with your family though. So now you got one brother that's out there doing shit on one side of town, another brother doing shit on another side of town. They end up in two rival gangs and go home to the same house with each other at night. Okay? Or you got one motherfucker that's a Muslim and another one that's a Christian. Okay? Or what about this one? You got two cousins with all the women in town, this skanky hoe screwing both of them, and then one of them go shoot up the other house and bring that drama to their family. Just like what happened in Kemet. These kings fooling around with those barbarian women and those vagabond women and then get married to them and then she kill his ass and let her son become the next king. All that type of stuff been going on with us from them forever. They learned how to implement that shit a long time ago and it's still in effect right to this day. And look, it's really bad. Let me tell you how bad it is. If you look at the average young black man out there today, the average youth, let's say from 17 to 29, and I ain't even seen in LA, they 50 years old with their pants still sagging off their ass, okay? Look, man, let me tell you something. Anytime you got a whole nationality of what used to be strong-ass warriors, building pyramids in the hot desert all day, strong as hell, I mean, this is what you become now. You walking around with your ass out as if you're not smart enough to understand for... You know, maybe your ass shouldn't be all out like that for people to be seeing your ass. What is wrong with you? It wouldn't be a problem if these women was walking around with their ass hanging out, but then you have a bunch of men. Now listen what I'm saying. You would have a bunch of faggot ass men that get on the news talking about it. And it's just a shame that all these women is walking around with their ass hanging out, unless they can sell that. If they can make a profit off of it like they do in the whole houses, it's okay. Other than that, it's disrespectful. Your mother will tell you, girl, don't let no man see up your dress, all right? All these years of training and rearing your children, all this effort being put into making girls make sure they don't show their panties and this and all that, right? But now here you got a man, supposed to be Mr. Macho and shit, right? And he walking around, and if you notice, they won't wear them little ugly, nasty, white cotton ones. No, they gotta have the little sexy shits on. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and I fabricate a pattern behind it. I say not only is they just showing their draws, they making sure that they pick the most fancy, girlish looking ones they can find. Now, do you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
How you notice that too?
Yeah.
How colorful they be?
Yeah, I check that out.
Do you see what I'm saying? And then he had the nerves to get on the thing. Now here you is with your booty hole hanging out. You probably got some grease in your damn handbag. And then you want to get on the train. And the essays is doing it too. I done seen some of them doing that shit too with their pants sagging. And then I get on the train and I'm standing